Hello Taurus, this is your extended reading. It's so interesting, the cards that are here in your extended, they're talking about a very abrupt movement, and I feel like for you, the impression that this fast moving energy that is going through right now is it's such a high contrast to the inertia that I saw in the first part, but it's like this is necessary to really bring things into a balance for you, not only emotionally but also mentally. So uh, it's like this correction of your psyche that is really being how do I say, it's like being stimulated by this finding of what was lacking in your heart, what was needing adjustment and tending to in your emotional body. So we begin this part with the Nine of Swords, and straight away I was seeing like this image from Alice in Wonderland when she falls in the rabbit hole, right? Is it a rabbit hole? It's the hole inside a tree, right? So it's like this falling into this other realm, this other reality, in a sense, that really messes up with your head, with your mind, with your ability to orient yourself in space and time. And so what I was seeing here is actually really, really interesting, because I feel like it's the not the consequence of understanding how movement occurs with, you know, this it's like this mirroring reality that we live in, but we're not privy to, that we cannot perceive because we are, you know, embodied in this human body. So there are physical limitations that only when our heart and our minds are going through recalibration and we are able to perceive like the mechanics of how the universe works, in a sense. It's what I'm seeing right now with the, it's almost like this is a clog. Is that how you say it? A clog in the machine. I hope I'm saying it properly. It's almost like a mechanical part, a wheel that is it wasn't functioning properly because it needed your realization towards that it's in fact not working as a traditional spinning of a wheel, but it's, well, it's more like an hourglass. But how do I explain this? It's like the image that I'm seeing, it's like an hourglass, but it's working inwards. It's going towards the center. And so these reflections that are happening, you know, horizontally and vertically, you know, as in well, this horizontal line is coming through as the 3D, as something that we perceive, that we walk on, right? So space. And this vertical line is working more like energy and frequency. So it's coming through as, you know, this it's like this placement of space and time. And so when you see how this really works, it's like all of your relationships, especially this one, it's going to really shift, because you will realize what was lacking in your emotional body. You'll be able to really pinpoint in your emotions what was triggering this sense of inertia, of things not moving or not finding the desire that you once had to go bask under the sun, right? And so going back to this card that's beginning the extended, what I was seeing instead of, so the image that I saw was Alice falling down this rabbit hole into this other reality. But really, because of the direction of these arrows, these swords, what you are going through right now, Taurus, well, through the cards that I'm seeing, it's not a falling down, but it's like an upgrading. So whatever moment of inertia that you lived in the first part that we saw, after you really find how things work, especially inside of you, right? With the Five of Cups that we saw from the first part, it's the same thing happening here. So you understand that really what is going on with you, it's not that you're falling down, but you're moving upwards. And because the speed is so quick, it's actually so fast, because now you understand how this mirroring effect of reality works, right? It's like things are moving quicker than you thought, and it's completely disorienting, especially because of this card that is following next, the Fool card. So when the Fool card came, I was actually really dizzy, because to me it felt like and I'm actually right now dizzy. So Taurus, if you're feeling lightheaded or dizzy, I don't know, maybe this is for you too, because things are moving in a way that you were not anticipating. The way that I was receiving the message from the Fool was that you expected to go on a path, and suddenly you are just seeing yourself going in a completely different and perhaps opposite direction. And this is completely disorienting for you. But because of this card coming next, it's like the universe is reassuring through this card, the Justice card, that this is just the way that the universe is finding to bring things into balance. So perhaps you have already experienced this falling down very abruptly, like Alice in Wonderland, right? But now it's the opposite. So it's not that you're going down, but going up. So it's like you are not, it's not like you're falling into a hole. It's like you're going into like a spaceship or a super fast elevator that is just taking you to the stratosphere and really making you confused, or making you lost, making you lose the ability to really perceive things with a rational mind, you see? But as I said, although things are going in a very different way than you saw, or than you thought things would go, things are balancing out. Things are it's like there is this divine justice at play here for you, Taurus. So, and it's going to bring, although right now I want to say it feels like you're going through this it's like you're on this roller coaster ride. It feels like it's going down very fast, but it's also going up very fast, and you don't really know what's up and down and sideways. It's like you're in this very movable reality right now, that it's not stable at all. But this card is coming as a relief in a sense. So the Four of Pentacles, and it's interesting because in the first part, this Four was really showing the attempt in you, Taurus, to pinpoint something in your emotional body that was making you feel restless or uncomfortable, or just knowing that something is not right and not really finding it, right? So there is the sense of frustration also, of trying to find what's wrong with you and not being able to do so. And after you go through this, it's like this really quick upgrade in a sense that really disorients you. It's like there is this path that you are supposed to walk through, even though it's very different from what you were expecting to find along the way. But there is reassurance from Spirit here with this Justice that this new path, in a sense, that you're being upgraded to, right? It's almost like, so it's interesting, it's like the image that I just got through is that I just got right now is like, you know, when you are ready to embark on a plane and you are on a regular seat, right? The economy, the basic seat, right? And then you are upgraded to the business class or to first class or whatever. And it's not even that. With this justice, what I'm getting, it's like, and especially with the Fool too, it's like unknowingly you are going to be upgraded to a private jet. It's like that kind of upgrade is not, it's just an example, right? It doesn't have to be that, but it's something that for you is so incredibly, it's like your mind is not able to really perceive how this is just for you. This is just for you. And it has this double meaning, something that is really like what I'm seeing with this Four of Pentacles today is like, this is a place that was only waiting for your name to be put on it, to be written on it. So it's like this very, it's like a very privileged position, but one that will bring you stability, one that will bring you this sense of grounding that you so need at the moment. Because I feel like you're all over the place, you know, mentally especially, but also emotionally. So this divine justice that is placing you somewhere that you are feeling more grounded than ever, but at the same time it's like being super upgraded to the point that you cannot, it's like if it depended upon you to choose this upgrade, you wouldn't even think of that possibility because it's something that is so beyond your reality, right? But when it brings you to this really balanced state where things are not moving so much that you can really just slow down and find balance within this stable yet upgraded version of your reality, it's like you can relax, right? You can relax a little bit. So with these cards coming next, I feel like you're not on your own here. So we have the Eight of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of things going on right now. It's like, where do I begin? It's like so much coming through at once. So here you are, this relationship, you finding this energy in you, this soul connection with your Queen of Wands, and being triggered in the first part by the perhaps by the words of the King of Swords that felt like an attack or an aggression or just a confrontation, right? Not necessarily an attack, but just confronting you, or it made you feel like that, right? I don't want to say that they did so intentionally, because I think they didn't. It's just that for you, your perception was that they were attacking you. But because now they're presenting as the Queen of Wands, it's like now you are seeing them more as equal than as than an enemy, right? Than someone that is just fighting you or fighting against you. So this is one thing. The next thing here is also, because of this Eight of Cups, it's connecting to this finding that you finally really pinpoint what was triggering your emotional restlessness. And so this Five of Cups was showing the emotional triggers that you were sensing and feeling that perhaps before you couldn't do so on your own. But when you relate to this other, you are able to understand and find and feel what is the source of this inertia, of this feeling that you couldn't really describe it because it was just something that it's uncomfortable, right? And so here with this Eight of Cups, which to me, it's like a doubling up of this energy. It's like you, and especially because it's coming followed by this Queen of Wands. So this other, it's like now you both are on the same page emotionally and energetically. And so, and I want to say all of this entire reading is just showing this partner as a player in your life, right? Not player in that deceiving manner. It's not at all like that. Just a player as in another person, right? But it's not showing me their perspective. It's all your perspective of them, of the relationship. You see, Taurus? So what I'm sensing here at the end is like, once you find that you have been upgraded, that, you know, the scales have been balanced, that you are moving upwards, even though it's so fast that you only wished it stopped. There's nothing you can do, mainly because of, you know, these two cards. It's something that is way beyond your control. It's something that it's this good upgrade. It's like for your benefit, Taurus. But it's like, if it was your option, if you could choose, you would never choose it like this. Although, and this is the way that I'm getting, but I have to just express what I see of it, because, you know, in reality, I feel like our destiny, and this is just my personal opinion, okay? Destiny is made of choices that we have done previously to incarnating. So although I'm saying that, yes, you wouldn't choose this consciously with your rational mind, it's like, because your mind is just being upgraded in a sense, your emotions are being upgraded. So everything that is just so all over the place, so jumbled up, so confusing right now, it's because, you know, in this in this more cosmic understanding of what is beneficial to you, there is this sense of balancing the energy and really moving towards what you have come to do, right? To fulfill your destiny. But doing so in a way that now you feel more comfortable, you feel more grounded, I want to say, with the Four of Pentacles. And only when you feel more grounded, when you feel like there is a little bit of stability after all this up and down, is when you can finally perceive that this partner of yours, especially with ending the Ace of Swords, which is in the center of, it's you actually. It's like, before you, it's like you think that everything is against you, in a sense. Everything, the environment, this partner, you know, especially because you are seeing them in the first part as the King of Swords. So it's like this abrasive, this intrusive, this aggressive, this sharp energy against you, surrounding you, but also moving you to this quicker upgrade than you anticipated, putting you in this path that is more aligned with this just position. And it's interesting because, as I was saying, just position, it's reminding me of this juxtaposition. I hope I'm saying this properly and I make myself clear here. So here is a position that is guided by this divine justice, right? A just position. But here, once you find yourself again in a solid ground where you can discern reality around you, you can discern up from down, side, one side from the other, you know, this crossing of space and time. It's like there is this juxtaposition of the emotions, your emotions, their emotions, and how the perception of the other changes to one that is more compatible to you, because now you see clearly. You see that? Yeah, I'll have to pause here just a second. I'm sorry for that again, Taurus. So as I was saying about this Ace of Swords ending your extended reading, the message from it is very clearly showing me that whatever was confusing and disorienting in the beginning with the Nine of Swords, after all of this, you really find this connection to be one that it's like going back to finding the, you know, the energy that brings you joy, that, you know, that this one reminds you of how energizing it is to be together, to be in partnership, to enjoy life together, to bask under the sun together. And so this is where you perceive clearly again. This is where you can see exactly what happened, why it happened in the way that it happened, why you are coming to this new path that feels completely different and divergent from the one that you were anticipating, and how divinely how divinely just it was all along, because now it's bringing you this sense of balance, right? And so after all of that, let's see what the astrological runes have to add to this message for you, Taurus. Actually, you received two. So let's see. This is interesting. So it came like this. It's actually harder to hold two runes. So we have Sagittarius and Pisces. We have, actually, this is actually very, very interesting. It's, you know, fire and water. So Sagittarius, and it's interesting also because it's coming through as, you know, a more masculine force coming from the Sagittarius rune, and then a more feminine one coming from the Pisces. So it's this finding this energy again, this stimulating energy that just moves you, that just brings you to want things again, to desire things again, to leap into a new adventure, right? But what this Pisces is talking about, especially because what I'm seeing right now is the symbol of the two fish dancing together, opposite to each other, but also very complementary. It's like this natural flow. It's talking about this partnership of yours. So the this relationship of you really finding your energy again, right? Being the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire, which is also here with the Sagittarius rune. And seeing them as an equal, as a partner where you can have this very balanced relationship, right? Very just relationship, like an equal relationship, and also one that is very nurturing because of this Pisces. And you know, Pisces usually reminds me of unconditional love. So it's something that it's not only stimulating and optimistic, is reminding you of how things could look brighter, how things could be more exciting, but also how things can be so unconditionally loving, how this relationship can be so fulfilling, can be so emotionally fulfilling, but also energetically fulfilling, right? So that was interesting, Taurus. I wonder if this was helpful or insightful. In any case, I really apologize for all the cuts in the middle of the video. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.